Hola, mis mangos. Today we are going to be asking Spirit what blessings are coming your way. I'm gonna sage a little before. I always sage before a reading, or even if I do incense, but today I just felt like I should do it on screen and give y'all a little more time to meditate with it. It was a rough day today, y'all. People are just wild out here. I had someone come from my neck out of nowhere, and I had to be reminded of who I was and that I am not about this. Anyways, we are not here for me though. But I'm alchemizing. I'm turning the negative into a positive because that's what I do. So today we have the Citrine, Amethyst, and raw emerald. I just want y'all to check out that raw emerald because there is green in there. It might just look like a regular rock, but it's not. So yeah, please close your eyes, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and just meditate on which stone you feel is calling to you. Of course, you can always choose more than one. Claim it. Whatever you think Spirit wants you to select, go with your instinct. Nothing should ever override your intuition. Unless you're, clinically insane. Okay, let's start with pile 1. The Citrine. I love Citrine because I feel like it's like a mix of fire and ice, I don't know, that's just how I feel about it. So what blessings are coming for you next? Pile 1. Beautiful. I love this already. Yes. Spirit knew I needed a good reading. They were like, we're going to uplift you, baby. I love being the bearer of good news. Okay. Okay, pile 1. For a lot of you, this is about a romantic connection. Not everyone, but the majority of you. I'm seeing that you had a relationship that you fought long and hard for. You put a lot of, maybe not long, but you did put a lot of work into this. You invested in it. You had very high hopes that it would yield into something, good, long lasting, like something real and tangible, something concrete, and it just did not happen that way. And it's saying that, it was unfair. Whatever happened here really did not work out in your favor and really was not just. That's why we have the Justice card in reverse. And you are closing out this chapter, closing out this phase, this dark phase, and now you will be coming into a new emotional beginning. And there will be, I'm really getting the sense that whoever this person was not entirely honest or clear with you, and you're getting away from that. Like, this sneaky energy is now not going to be there anymore, and you're really going to be empowered when you leave this behind, not only will you be happy, look, you have 2 ace cards. Like, you have, like, it's like a new emotional beginning, and then you will be stepping into your power, you know, like, it is the beginnings of it, but you will be remembering who you are, you know, like, you're gonna be like, oh, I forgot I was a baddie. I forgot who the F I was, and I'm going to start manifesting what I want in my life. I'm going to start going after my goals. And I see, like, do you know how sometimes you are like, for example, the other day I was trying to do something like rotate a video I had recorded, and it literally would just not rotate, okay? And I could go on a rant on this about this like for a really long time, which I'm trying not to do. But the point is, I invested hours and hours and hours into this, and ultimately I had to let it go. And when I let it go the next day, my cousin was like, why don't you just, you know, try like downloading this one app? And mind you, I had downloaded a lot of other apps. So long story short, it worked. And it's one of those things where it doesn't actually, like, sometimes something really shouldn't be that hard, but for whatever reason, it's like the momentum isn't there, the conditions aren't favorable, it isn't clicking, and something so simple becomes so complicated. And I feel like that was this relationship. Like, you know, when you just, like, you're with someone who's supposed to be your partner, but they're not your partner. Like, you cannot work together and on anything. And I think that, like, you cannot underestimate how much spillover that will have on other areas of your life. And so essentially they're saying, like, things that, you know, maybe in other areas of your life seem so difficult are suddenly going to start flowing, right? Because this is the struggle card. This is the, like, I'm reading this right now as like a struggle, like, conflict, like, things are just going to start gelling for you. And it's great, you know, it's just going to be kind of smooth energy. Things are just going to flow. It's going to be yes, that's the word, effortless. Things are going to be effortless for you for a while. So I just think instead of you fighting these uphill battles, you're going to be, like, smart about where you direct your energy, and you will reap those rewards. So pile one, that's great news. I'm seeing a lot of growth. I am, and you know, I actually just got this message. I am feeling like for quite a lot of you, maybe this relationship was actually like a source of contention between you and, like, maybe your family. But, like, I'm really getting specifically, like, your friends. Like, maybe your friends were not, like, a fan of this person, okay? And I'm just getting a sense of, like, you being able to reconnect and sort of repair those relationships. For quite a lot of you, like, your friends might have been right about some things, and you know, no, we never like to be wrong. We all like to be right. We never like to be wrong, and, like, or to, like, you know, pretty much feel like we're coming back with our tail between our legs. But you know what, baby? When that's family, when your friends are really your tribe and that's really your family, they're not going to rub it in your face, okay? Or it might just be a conversation. And I think for some of you, I'm really getting the specific message that you need to put your pride aside. And you really just need to be open to growth. Because if you are not willing to, like, reflect on what happened, acknowledge what happened, and where things went wrong, if you're not willing to sort of do that reflection and review, right, then you aren't going to learn from it. You aren't going to grow from it. It's not possible. And so I'm going to pull, to close out the reading, I'm going to pull one of my Starseed Oracle cards. What message do we want to leave? Pile one with. What message do we want to leave pile one with? Inner Earth. Ooh, you'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. Okay, guys. So, let's see. Inner Earth. I'm going to read the meaning behind this card. Inner Earth, where are you? Okay. This card is really asking you what you can do to shift your energy or your outlook. So you're on the cusp, right? You are on the cusp of closing out this chapter, starting this new one, and it's basically saying, okay, as you enter this new phase, what do you need to shed? What do you need to leave behind in order to be successful in this new phase? Like, you know, we're doing a reading on blessings, and I think oftentimes we forget that in order to like receive a blessing, we have to be receptive, right? So take time to survey like where your blockages might be, where like and blockages can be our perspective, blockages can be our false beliefs, right? All of those things are tied in. And so taking the time to really take stock of this past situation and where you were being blocked by it is really going to aid you into coming into this new phase with grace, right? It's saying you will survive this past phase. There are new solutions and beginnings. So search for those solutions. They want you to find them, okay? And when something wants to be found, you don't have to work very hard. It will be effortless. So, okay, I'm going to read this little portion of it. There are solutions beyond what you can perceive. Y'all, I hadn't even read this, okay? I love this. Surprising outcomes to your problems and situations. Resolutions that are in the best interests of all involved. I'm really getting that like feeling of like your soul tribe, your friends. Like I'm really feeling like there's going to be a reunion. There's going to be a homecoming. Like, yes, don't fight that, okay? You need your people. We all need a support system. If you find yourself facing an obstacle or feeling stuck and you have no idea what to do, you're being reassured that there is a way out. You'll survive this and things will work out. If you're stuck in a rut, do something to shake up the energy and shift your thinking. Try something you wouldn't normally do. Soon you'll see that whole new world of solutions are available. Things that were previously beyond your focus will present themselves. Helpful people, signs from the universe, and support in both expected and unexpected ways are on their way to you. But first you need to do something different to shift your focus so you can receive them. Yes! Be receptive. I love it when I say something and I'm validated. Y'all, this is beautiful. It was synchronous and I am feeling all of the positive and light energy and just blessed. Okay? Thank you so much for coming here today and being part of my energy exchange. Please take time to look at my description. If you're interested in a private reading, reach out to me. And now we will be moving on to pile 2. Pile 2 with the amethyst. Pile 2, what blessings are coming your way? Let's see. How y'all going through it, huh? Let's see. Okay. Okay. You know, in these readings right now, like, this reading is not necessarily romantic, but a lot of you... Okay. All right. Pile 2. Wow. Let's see. Pile 2, I am seeing... I actually do not think this is about a person. I'm getting the sense that a lot of you are... people in this group are dealing with something internally. For quite a few of you, this feels like depression and anxiety because the two are interlinked. I feel you of two minds. I feel you torn. I feel you, to me, you know, usually we would read this as like the Lovers in reverse, sort of like the Two of Cups. In this case, I'm really seeing this as like this is a union card. And since it's reversed right now, I'm really seeing this as like, you're not in union with yourself. And there's this like bifurcation. There's a split here. So you're really not like yourself. You're really not sure what is real and what is not. Or, okay, so there's a few scenarios. For some of you, you're in a situation or you're in a frame of mind where things are very unclear and you keep going back and forth on what you think it is, okay? That's one. For others, yet, this is pretty heavy energy. Like, you're really in your head. Wow. I see you trying to leave this headspace and not being able to with this in reverse. I see you being disconnected from your intuition and emotions. I see you not feeling independent and strong, like a self-sufficient adult. For some of you, you have a choice to make. Okay, so for some of you, this is really internal. This is like your perception. You may be, I don't want to be rude, but you may be suffering from some delusional thinking. Okay, guys, and that's serious. Like, if that is the case, like, I will always recommend that, you know, you do seek mental help. And that's not for all of you. That's for some of you. For yet others of you, this is more of you being of two minds about an external situation. So for a lot of you, this is a choice you need to make. It may be choosing between two great job offers, choosing between staying somewhere or moving somewhere else, right? Like, maybe this is your home, maybe this is where you built a home and you have the opportunity to go somewhere else, but it's scary and you're not sure. So maybe you feel blocked from leaving. I do see that, like, with the Strength in reverse, that you feel very sapped of your energy. You're feeling very weak. Yeah, you're feeling like impoverished almost. Like, it's just like poor of mind, poor of spirit. I'm really seeing a scarcity mentality. I also see you withdrawing from friends with the Three of Cups in reverse. So this is really, really heavy energy, and I really am hearing that it would behoove you not only to make a decision for those of you who do need to make a decision, but also like to reach back out to your support system, because Spirit does want to bless you. But like I said in pile one, you need to be receptive in order to be blessed. And if you're in this mindset where you think everyone's out to get you, or you think the world is out to get you, or like the world is a harsh place, or like, you know, it's going to block good things from coming in, because you might have all of these great things handed to you on a silver platter, but you're not going to believe it's real, right? And so you end up self-sabotaging. And so this reading is more about, it's literally Spirit asking you to please not self-sabotage yourself and the good things and people and places and opportunities that you have in your life, because it would be a shame, to be frank. That's really the, yeah. And there's really not much more I have to say. So we're going to go on to your advice card, or your final message card. And we're pulling from the Starseed Oracle deck today, which I adore. I like the amethyst. So for like our crystals, right? I always recommend that you look up your crystal, you know? Like, there's so many different websites. If you Google this, so many different, like, people will ascribe, or even cultures ascribe different meanings to, like, different crystals, right? And I just think it's, like, very similar to when you pick the crystal. Like, look it up and see which meaning resonates with you, okay? Wow. Okay, we got a few, and I only wanted to pull one. All right, but apparently they're very chatty. You know what? And it makes sense, because our reading was very short. It makes sense that they're very chatty, because they want to give you advice, okay? So, pile 2, it's saying wait. Okay, that's very clear. You need to wait. Like, I think you are, if you need to make a decision, maybe you do not yet have all the facts, and like you're getting very anxious about it, and you need to, like, listen, when we don't believe that things are working for us or for our highest good, then that is where fear stems from, anxiety stems from. So you need to remember that, like, you are a part of a collective, of a larger organism, right? We're all like pieces of that, like almost like cogs in a wheel, but not as mechanic, right? We are all connected through this consciousness that is universal, that is ruled and dominated by love. And of course, there are other external forces that are scary, but if you even think about all of the things you've been through that have gotten to you to where you are right now, or just how fragile life is, and the fact that you're a living, breathing, functioning miracle, that should give you a sense of safety and stability and peace. You are not alone. And this is literally, if we read the underlying message, isolation, physical connection, community. You're isolating, baby, and you're being told not to. You are listen, you're sitting here thinking that you live in this like hostile environment, and that is not the case, okay? Like, and I think that maybe you've been through some really horrible things. For some of you, I really am seeing, like, for some of you, you've been through very traumatizing experience. I see, for some of you, sexual abuse. And I'm so sorry that you were violated in that way. Others of you were physically abused. I'm seeing abuse of all kinds, emotional, mental. So I think a lot of you okay, I just want to pause and say, because I almost want to cry, like, you are so resilient and you have survived so much, and you deserve not only to heal but to flourish. I really want you to know that, and that you're worthy, and that you deserve to take up space just as much as the next person. So please know, like, with all of my heart, you are not alone, okay? You are absolutely not alone. There are people who love you, but you need to let them. You need to be receptive to that, okay? Like, there are blessings that are knocking down your door, but, like, you've got to take out the headphones and just hear them and be willing to receive them. Wow. Okay. And then for the seeds of Mintaka, it says seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to life. I'm going to read, I feel called to read this one. So give me one moment as I locate. Okay. Mintaka is thought to have been a water-based planet containing the most crystal clear waters you could ever imagine. So clear that you could see for miles and miles underwater. The Seeds of Mintaka card represent this crystalline clarity of potential and possibility. It's about the ability and choice to see the potential in all people and situations. This could be one of your natural traits, or it could be a sign that what you're currently doing has great potential. Mintakans are thought to have been a galactic race who saw the light in everything and everyone. You may have received this card as confirmation that a situation or project has extreme potential and will reach fruition. If it appears in a spread, it's a very positive sign that things are working out for the highest potential of all involved. It's a very uplifting, light-filled card that brings great harmony, contentment, and positive outcomes. According to Carl Jung, that which we do not bring to consciousness appears in our life as fate. When water appears in dreams and art, it often represents the unconscious mind. Pulling this card also means you may be called to bring to light any unconscious patterns of which you're aware, to look at them and see them clearly and consciously so they don't appear in your life as fate. What unconscious patterns or behaviors are ready to be brought to the light of day? And the question you're left with is, how can you see the potential in a situation you're facing? What unconscious patterns are you being called to bring to light? So before I close out your reading, pile 2, I just really, really want to highlight that the sense I get is that you are so special, and you lose sight of that sometimes. And I understand you're going through a lot of things. There are a lot of things that are unhealed for you, but this does not, first of all, like, there's no shame in being where you're at, but also, like, this does not, whatever happened to you, whatever you believe about yourself right now that isn't good or isn't true, or about your possibilities or your fate or your destiny, that is not written in stone, okay? That can change. You can change it. You can ask for help to change it. You know, sometimes the simplest thing is to literally say, God, Spirit, like, whatever you believe in, help me. Give me strength. Support me. Ask your spirit guides for help. Ask for help. If you don't believe in anything, ask your friends for help. But ask for support. Please do that. And take time to identify what unconscious patterns you have that are blocking you, because for quite a few of you, I feel like you are on this trajectory that does lead to something great, whether it's, and it may be externally facing great, right? Like, so in the public eye, quite a few of you, I feel like will have, jobs where you're living lives of service, or you're interacting with the public, or you have a certain level of status, and the world celebrates those things, and there's nothing wrong with it, right? There's nothing wrong with having status or wealth, like, welcome that. But if you do not have inner peace, if you are not healed on the inside, it's all for naught, and you won't be able to enjoy that, okay? That is the frosting, the whipped cream, the cherry on top. That's not the cake, okay? So right now, take the time, please, and work on your foundation. Work on that batter. Work on making that cake, okay? Because every element is intelligently designed and wants to coalesce in the best way for you, okay? So pile 2 with that, I will leave you, and I truly hope that you go into your day, your week, feeling lighter and feeling blessed, okay? Much, 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 much love. Pile 3. You all chose the raw emerald. And can I just say that for me, I'm going to hold this up. Excuse me. So you do see the little pieces of emerald shining through, right? It's obviously raw to the buff. And like, can I just say, I'm not a huge fan of diamonds. So they're like, oh, diamond in the rough. It's like, I don't know. It's a little boring to me. But like a raw emerald is like, okay, you're like a emerald in the rough. And I just really get that. So I have not even started this reading yet. So I don't know what we're going to pull. But I do get like this like sense of an underdog. Like you're underestimated. Like maybe you even underestimate yourself. So, well, we'll see. We'll see. Pile 3. My last pile of the day. Pile 3, what blessings are coming your way? Okay. I was just told to make this upright. Okay. Not that though. Okay, I'm being told not to pull anything in reverse for this reading. Okay, one more. Y'all. Okay. Pile 3, you guys are giving me alchemical energy. You all are alchemists. I am seeing that you are so strong. You are so resilient. You are so powerful. And yes, I do get that underdog energy because I think like people see that like maybe rough exterior or like I think you have to embody and occupy your energy of strength quite often. And people don't realize that you are a gem, that there are parts of you that are just breathtaking. And like, I just, whatever gender you are, I get the sense that you have to occupy your masculine energy a lot. And that there are parts of you that are really quite feminine, but almost hidden. You know, I almost get the sense of like, you know how like some people wear like really baggy clothes, kind of like what's her name? The artist. Oh my gosh, Billie Eilish. Oh my gosh. Okay. So you know how Billie Eilish like wore really baggy clothes, but like, you know, at some point she revealed, like whenever she was ready, you're giving me that vibe. Or like, yeah, like tomboy hiding that you're like a bombshell, right? And that's okay. Pile 3 maybe doesn't serve you to show that part of yourself off, but like, I just want to iterate that, you know, whatever you do or don't do, it should be because you want to do it. And I understand that, like, I think for some of you, you may have grown up in a rough neighborhood or environment where like you really couldn't express certain parts of yourself that were softer. And I'm being told to say, like, you're safe now, and if you want to express those parts of yourself, you should. Like, if you don't, you shouldn't, but it should no longer be dictated by external circumstances, because you're not there anymore. You know, like, for some of you, I'm really being told, like, you should take the time to, like, throw out clothes that are not, like, you don't feel like your best self in, or, like, go get a makeover, go, you know, dye your hair, do something in the area of self-care to make yourself feel the best version of yourself, right? Like, I'm not saying change yourself, I'm saying enhance yourself. All of us have in our head, like, maybe either like how we would envision ourselves to be, or something, if barring that, like something we admire, go after that. You know, like, sometimes changing up our external appearance can help us internally, right? Like, it can empower us internally. It isn't everything, of course, but in this case, I'm being told that, like, for quite a few of you, that, like, just self-care, you know? And maybe self-care for you is as simple as a bubble bath. And I'm really seeing that for some reason, okay, this is very specific. For some reason, a lot of you have this, like, rough situation or past that you've been in, that you're no longer in. You're not fully free of it. So, like, maybe, you know, maybe for some of you, like, you have family or friends that are still embroiled in this situation. And I'm seeing that, like, you're actually going to soon be traveling back or having an encounter with that quickly. I see it coming in quickly. And I do think that there are some unresolved things. I do see conflict. So maybe for some of you, they're like, oh, you've changed. Oh, you think you're all that now. Like, you're not here anymore. Like, or yeah. Or like, you think you're above us. Like, you know, it's so funny because in the last pile I read, this card is like, they were feeling in an impoverished mindset. But in this pile, I'm reading this as like, they think you're coming and like lording it over them, and like, oh, here's your, like, your pity, your charity. And like, I am hearing, like, for you to definitely draw on your strength, because you have considerable strength to mentally fortify yourself before you enter this situation, which is fast approaching. And remember that, like, not only that what they think probably stems a lot from their insecurity. I know you're one of my mangoes. I know you're sweet. Like, I don't believe that you are this, okay? I think that, like, you're doing whatever you're doing, or you're giving whatever you're giving, literally from the bottom of your heart with all of the kindness in the world. And okay, we're not always perfect. Maybe there's little parts of you that are dark that, you know, like all of us have that, you know, like there may be a little part of you that's petty. Like maybe some of them did you wrong. Maybe like, you know, you want to stunt a little. You want to say like, oh yeah, I've got it now. And it's just saying like, you know, before you go in there, calibrate, like protect yourself mentally, like be centered, like no, remember who you are. Like you know who you are. So just be like, I am so and so. I know I'm a good person. I know that like this is where I'm coming from, and I don't need their validation or acceptance. It would be nice to have it, right? But if I don't have it, I'm going to be okay because I know who I am and I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's very important, like coming into this. And also really evaluate the little parts of you that, like, listen, when someone like misunderstands us, misjudges us, mistreats us, it's normal to want to like clap back, get revenge, right? But it's saying like, hey, rise above that and literally just remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing, okay? And if there are parts of you that are doing it from a not like purely pure, you know, altruistic place, work through that. Just work through it. Just have a chat with yourself. Be aware of it. Sit with it and just be like, okay, you know what? Like, maybe I am feeling a little like superior. Maybe I am feeling a little like vengeful or petty or like whatever, right? Sit with that and just acknowledge it and just be like, but what I want is to do this from such and such place. So that's the energy I'm going to embody, right? So we're not denying our feelings, but we are like acknowledging them and taking power away from them and refocusing our energy on the feeling that will actually be constructive, that's actually helpful, that not is constructive towards the person who we are now and who we want to continue to be and growing into. Okay, so I'm done with that portion of the reading. So now we step into these figures here where I'm seeing quite a few characters and I'm seeing quite a few interpretations. This is a very interesting pile because I do think that when you go there, for quite a lot of you, I think you're going to be communicating a truth that is going to be very freeing for you. And for quite a lot of you, I'm really getting the sense that like this I'm reading this as parents, you know? So for some of you, I think like I see some of you coming out, okay? I see some of you telling your parents something maybe they don't want to hear. Maybe you're marrying someone that they don't approve of. Maybe you've chosen a career path that they don't approve of, or maybe you're just letting them know some part of you that, and for some of you, for a lot, like for quite a lot of you, you may be thinking that they don't approve of it, but like they might surprise you, you know, or it might just take a little time for them to come around. But you're being called to be authentic and to really show up as you, okay? And I think that, now that makes so much sense because that's why I keep saying, like, know who you are, center yourself. For some of you, whether you're occupying this divine masculine or feminine energy, this may be a friend. And I do get the sense that you guys are opposite in terms of which energy you favor. So, like, it might be like you're a guy, he's a girl. I mean, what am I saying? You're a girl, he's a guy, and you're just like, okay, I need to have a talk with you, real talk. Like, this is what's going on, and so that could be romantic, that could be platonic, but like I'm just seeing like you're unwilling to occupy. Like for some of you, this may be like walking away from toxic masculinity, toxic femininity, because we don't talk about toxic femininity, but like you might just be like, I'm not doing these gender roles. I'm not doing this gossip. I'm not like tearing down other women anymore. I'm not doing something, right? That might be prevalent in this place or in this environment, or this could even be a work culture. But I see you speaking up, and like, this is the page, so it is uncomfortable for you, but like, this is a necessary conversation, and I'm here to tell you, you've got this, okay? And like, whatever the outcome of this is, that's not in your control, but you expressing your truth is necessary, and that is in your control. And sometimes we don't like outcomes, but if we are aligned with the truth, whatever the outcome is, even if it's disappointing in the sense of like, you're like, oh, well, I'm disappointed that this person behaved that way or is that way, it's always better to know the truth. Like, if your job is a toxic job and like they just have a really horrible work culture that isn't accepting of you, of course it's panicking to think like, I'm not gonna have a job or a paycheck. But it's better for you to know that with clarity so you can start looking for another job. It's better for you to know with clarity that like, this friend isn't really your friend and doesn't really accept you for who you are, so you don't keep investing in that friendship and keep trying when this person isn't actually willing to meet you halfway, doesn't actually love you for you, because you're spending your energy in an unsafe environment where you're expending energy having to pretend to be someone you're not, right? Because it takes energy to put on a mask, okay? And to keep that mask on. And you don't deserve that. So pile 3, I really hope that this conversation is everything that it's meant to be. And I do see it being a little difficult, but I think you've got this. I'm going to pull a message card for you to close out this reading. And pile 3, I would love to hear if you're willing to share what's going on. Also, please feel free to check out my my description box if you're interested in a private reading. I've included my email. Okay, I'm getting distracted by the message card. Okay, star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. Yeah, this really gives me family vibes, like, for a lot of you, like, whether you really are going back home to deal with family, or it's just friends who are part of your soul tribe, or that you grew up with, or that you, and grew up with can be like, I've known them since I was a kid, or grew up with is like, we went through like a monumental experience. Like, we did college together. We had this like internship that changed my life together. We like, sometimes experiences grow us, and the people we share those experiences with, it bonds us, right? So I'm really getting that energy from this. It's very interesting. I'm really curious. This is beautiful. It's saying like, you're being invited to step into your ancient knowingness. And all of us have that, you know? Like, we just have to tap into it and be open to it. To be held by the remembrance of the star ancestors. To look a little deeper. If you're feeling stuck, you're being called to do something different, to change your point of view. Creativity happens when we put together two things that don't belong. I'm really getting the sense like, look at this crystal. Like, you see something so delicate, these little fragments, and then something so rough, and you would think it doesn't belong, but that's its natural form, right? This is something we then take and we polish and process and buff, but like, this is how it actually occurs in nature. And there are two sides of you, and that's okay. And probably even more than two, that you can allow to coexist harmoniously, right? And that is a beautiful juxtaposition that is you, right? We are paradoxical creatures in many ways. Creativity happens when we put together two things that don't belong, when we do the unexpected. So often a creative solution is right in front of us, But because we think the same thoughts and act the same way, we miss what's in the open. So I really feel like, yes, go into this situation with your mental defenses in place, right? But not so in place that you, but that is separate. You're protecting the essence of who you are. Don't conflate that with you not being open and receptive to someone else's reality or point of view, right? Because those things are subjective. And it's going to make for a more productive conversation and a better outcome. So pile 3, I leave you with that. I hope that was extremely helpful and empowering, and I wish you the very, very best as you go into your day, your week, and I have nothing but love for you all. Bye.